Mona Lisa has universal popularity. Everyone has seen a photo with this calm-looking woman at least once in their life. Well, it is the famous portrait of Mona Lisa painted by Leonardo da Vinci. In this video we are going to do a brief presentation on the story and the legend behind this masterpiece, which is estimated today at more than $1 billion. And then we are going to reveal to you 10 things that you may not know about Mona Lisa. Welcome to SlimTiger. On this channel you will find valuable content on the most relevant topics on the internet. If you are new, join the community by subscribing to the channel and activating the little notification bell so you don't miss our next videos. The story of Mona Lisa and the legends behind it. Mona Lisa, also known as La Gioconda, is the wife of Francesco del Giocondo. This painting is painted as oil on wood. The original painting size is 77 by 53 centimeters, 30 x 20 and 7/8 in, and is owned by the government of France and is on the wall in the Louvre in Paris, France. Originally from Florence, this woman's dress is a perfect example of the period. She sits in front of a panoramic view and blends into the background with her pale complexion, resulting in an ethereal portrait. The gradual transition between colors and forms is known as sfumato technique. The striking yet aloof expression of the Mona Lisa has made her a global icon. Her painting is so famous that she's become a household name across the media. The Mona Lisa's enigmatic expression has given the portrait universal fame. One of the most famous symbols in the world is Mona Lisa's smile. Experts think her expression is suggestive of a playful but coy lady. It is a visual representation of the idea of happiness suggested by the word Gioconda in Italian. This painting points to a central theme: happiness. It is this notion that makes the work such an ideal example of Leonardo's philosophy. The nature of the landscape also plays a role. The middle distance, on the same level as the sitter's chest, is in warm colors. Men live in this space. There are a winding road and a bridge. This space represents the transition between the space of the sitter and the far distance, where the landscape becomes a wild and uninhabited space of rocks and water which stretches to the horizon, which Leonardo has cleverly drawn at the level of the sitter's eyes. The woman sitting in the open loggia is sitting on two dark pillars. Behind her, the landscape looms, vast and snowy, and on the horizon, icy white mountains. Winding paths and a distant bridge give only the slightest indications of human presence. The sensuous curves of the woman's hair and clothing, created through sfumato, are echoed in the undulating imaginary valleys and rivers behind her. The smooth, graceful lines of the body, various contrasts of light and dark, and a general feeling of serenity suggest that this is a work by Leonardo da Vinci. Due to the expressive synthesis that da Vinci achieved between sitter and landscape, it is arguable whether Mona Lisa should be considered as a traditional portrait, for it represents an ideal rather than a real woman. The overall harmony in this painting, especially the faint smile on the sitter's face, reflects the idea of a connection between humanity and nature. During the Renaissance, artists were regarded as equally important scholars. Art meant truth to life. Leonardo da Vinci was a great figure because he embodied the epic endeavor of Italian art to conquer universal values. He who combined within himself the fluctuating sensitivity of the artist and the deep wisdom of the scientist, he, the poet and the master. 10 facts you might not know about the masterpiece. Number 1. Some historians believe Mona Lisa is a self-portrait of Leonardo da Vinci. No one knows what Mona Lisa looked like, since the only known portrait of her was created by Leonardo da Vinci. However, an Italian team of researchers wants to find out what she may have looked like and has gathered details about her facial features from paintings that are thought to be inspired by her. And he is buried at a French castle. Skull. They want to rebuild Leonardo's face, using CSI-style technology. Will he resemble the mysterious Mona Lisa? Number 2. She lived with François I, Louis XIV and Napoleon. Although da Vinci began work on his masterpiece while living in his native Italy, he did not finish it until he moved to France at King François I's request. The French king displayed the painting in his Fontainebleau palace, where it remained for a century. Louis XIV removed it to the Grand Palace of Versailles. At the outset of the 19th century, Napoleon Bonaparte kept the painting in his boudoir. Number 3. She has her own room in the Louvre Museum in Paris. The Louvre launched a 4-year, $6.3 million renovation in 2003. The painting now has its own room. A glass ceiling lets in natural light. A shatterproof glass display case maintains a controlled temperature of 43 degrees Fahrenheit, and a little spotlight brings out the true colors of da Vinci's original paints. Number 4. It is a painting but not a canvas. Da Vinci's famous masterpiece is painted on a poplar plank. Considering he was accustomed to painting larger works on wet plaster, a wood plank does not seem that outlandish. Canvas was available to artists since the 14th century, but many Renaissance masters preferred wood as a basis for their small artworks. Number 5. Jackie Kennedy invited her to visit. Over the centuries, French officials have only rarely let the painting out of their sight. However, when First Lady Jackie Kennedy asked if the painting could visit the U.S., French President de Gaulle agreed. Mona Lisa went on display at the National Gallery of Art in Washington, D.C., and then at the Metropolitan Museum of the Arts in New York City. 6. A thief made her famous. Although in the art world, the painting had always been an acknowledged masterpiece, it wasn't until it was stolen in the summer of 1911 that it would capture the attention of the general public. Newspapers spread the story of the crime worldwide. When the painting finally returned to the Louvre 2 years later, it made headlines all around the world. Number 7. Picasso was under suspicion for the theft. During the investigation, the gendarmes went so far as to question known art dissidents such as Pablo Picasso about the theft. They briefly arrested poet Guillaume Apollinaire, who had once said the painting should be burned. Their suspicions proved to be unfounded. Number 8. She receives fan mail. Since the painting first arrived at the Louvre in 1815, a lot of love letters and flowers have been sent to Mona Lisa. She even has her own mailbox. Number 9. Not everyone is a fan. The Mona Lisa has been vandalized a number of times throughout the years, but 1956 was one of the worst. In 2 separate attacks, one person threw acid at the painting, and another individual pelted it with a rock. The damage is faint but still noticeable. The addition of bulletproof glass repelled subsequent attacks with spray paint in 1974 and a coffee cup in 2009. More recently, on May 2022, a man seemingly disguised as an old woman in a wheelchair threw a piece of cake at the glass protecting the Mona Lisa at the Louvre Museum and shouted at people to think of planet Earth. The cake attack left a conspicuous white creamy smear on the glass, but the famous work by Leonardo da Vinci wasn't damaged. Number 10. She cannot be bought or sold. Truly priceless, the painting cannot be bought or sold according to French heritage law. As part of the Louvre collection, Mona Lisa belongs to the public, and by popular agreement, their hearts belong to her. In Leonardo da Vinci's Mona Lisa, the individual is a special creature, created by nature. But this miraculous figure also has a meaning that goes beyond its social limitations and represents the whole of humanity. Although Leonardo worked on this picture as a scholar and thinker, not only as a painter and poet, this work didn't inspire any followers. But the formal aspect, the new presentation, the nobler attitude, and the increased dignity of the model, had a decisive influence over Florentine portraits of the next 20 years, over the classical portrait. With his Mona Lisa, Leonardo gave birth to a new formula that was both monumental and lively, a combination that was never seen before, more concrete and yet more poetic than that of his predecessors. Before him, portraits had lacked mystery. Artists only represented outward appearances without any soul, or, if they showed the soul, they tried to express it through gestures, symbolic objects, or inscriptions. The Mona Lisa alone is a living enigma. The soul is there, but inaccessible. This is the end of this video. We thank you for watching it. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up and above all, tell us what you think in the comments. On this we say goodbye and see you soon in another video.